I'm going to demonstrate how to do a stinger rig for a Hudd 6.8. Here's the finished product right here. You're going to need your Hudd, of course, treble hook, line, snippers, needle nose pliers, and wire cutters. The first thing you're going to do is pull the bait down around the hook and cut off the jig hook. Then you're going to take your hook, and if you see how there's one hook that's lined up with the eye, you're going to want to cut that off and take your pliers and kind of bend it out. Now this is so it'll still slip into the bait, but because it doesn't have the hook and the barb and the way it's been out, it pops out very easily without causing a lot of damage where it penetrates the bait. I like to use smaller hooks because I don't want to knock off the balance of the bait, and they're easier to get out. The next step, take about 30 inches of your line. I'm using 40-pound Power Pro. You may be able to get away with 30, 50, but when you start getting up to like 65 plus, you probably can get along with just doing single strand. I like to do double up, because I had something cut me off when I was using just single strand, and since I've gone double, I haven't had any issues at all. They haven't even come close to tearing through it. So you double it up, put it through your hook, and then once you line up on this end, I like to straighten it up and just do a simple overhand knot. And you'll see why later. So pretty much looks like this. A little fray hanging out the end. Okay, the next part here is the most difficult. Run your line through the bait, popping it through. That's why you have the knot tied on it. Okay, take the empty part of the pin, wrap it about 4 times around. I like to go at least 4. It's really the best is 4. Okay, pull it tight. Okay, then run your line through the pin, like such, pulling that out. Now, you see all this extra line I have over here in this loop? You want to keep the loop there and pull on it, and the knot will cinch down. You want to get it really tight, because if you try to pull the tag in, this part here, the knot won't cinch down correctly. Now if you see here, by pulling this one, you see how the knot is pulling down. And what you need to worry about here is this part of the bait is hard, and only about here it starts to get soft. If you don't get back far enough with that knot, see like I am right now, you're going to end up not having some place to pin your bait. Now, don't cinch it down until you're ready. You can always pull this out a little bit, see, and relax it, and give yourself a little more distance. Okay, you can see it here. Then pull it tight, just like that, and that's how your knot should look. Simple fisherman's knot. Now here's where your pliers come into play, because you want to make sure you have a very good knot. Grab your pliers and give it a good pull. Make sure that knot is cinched down. Now, a lot of people say that, you know, braid slips. That's what it does, especially when it gets wet. So instead of trying super glue, which I haven't bothered with, I simply just tie an overhand knot here in the tag end and then cut it afterwards. And it can be kind of a pain to do sometimes. We basically just make a big loop like this, pinch it right there next to the knot. Try to get it as tight as you possibly can. May not be pretty, but it works. You see the knot I have there now? And there's no need really to double it up, but if you can, if you want to. I'm doing a lot of mine. fish, they really, they don't notice. They don't care. They're not going to see that. That bait's going to be coming through by them in probably dark water, and it's not going to matter to them. So the same thing, you just kind of grab the bait, pinch it right here, and try to cinch it down. Okay, now you got a double knot there. And then trim it right there. And now, I know there's a little tag in. You can probably get a little tighter than that, but again, the fish aren't going to notice. Okay. Then take your hook that's been cut off. Now, if I put it just right here, and there's slack in the line, see what it does? It's already starting to roll. And as you cast it, see how easily it moves around. But you don't want it so tight where it's going to, affect the bait or bend the bait back. I like to give it a little bend, pop it into place. See that? There's enough tension on it. See, it's not moving. It may go off a little bit, as you're fishing, but it really doesn't make that much difference. I've had it laying on its side before, and it still worked just fine, and fish will still hit it. So that's pretty much a setup there. You might want to practice with single strand before you get to double strand, because it can get frustrating sometimes trying to keep it short enough and getting that knot really tight. And as far as this goes, maybe you can take a cigarette lighter to it or something, but make sure you keep it knotted. Because what's happening before, I've hooked fish and I've had a tag in actually this long, and it's actually cinched down onto the knot, but it has not slipped. And that's basically it right there. If you guys have any questions regarding this, please reply to this post or send me a PM. Thanks, guys.